do we have to continue working hard at our relationships no matter what age we are? If this is a topic that interests you, you're in the right place. Stay tuned. We're going to discuss this in this video. A few weeks ago, I uploaded a video called "Is My Friend Too Young for Her Husband?" Maybe you would like to go and watch that one first, and possibly this video might make a bit more sense, because a friend of mine spoke to me and she had issues in her marriage. And we're not talking about young people, we're talking about a husband of 80 and his wife about 9 years younger than him. So she spoke to me about this and asked my advice, and I asked her permission, and I made a YouTube video about it, hoping that my subscribers would come back with some suggestions and opinions. Well, there were a couple, but not many. But of course, in the meantime, I went back to my friend and I said to her, well, look, the first thing that you've got to accept is you married him knowing that he was 9 years older than you are. So let's get that out the way first of all. And then secondly, if not most importantly, you're talking to me about it, but have you actually spoken to him about your issues? Which she hadn't. So I advised her to go back and pick a good time, maybe pour a glass of wine and relax and make sure the setting is good for a conversation, and speak to him. But speak to him in a non-judgmental way that would avoid him becoming defensive, because she had quite a few issues. And if you've watched the last video, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but I'm going to cover those issues now anyway. Let me just interrupt our topic here for a moment to say hello to my subscribers and a huge big welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm so grateful for you, and thank you very much for coming back to my channel and supporting me. Let's carry on with our issue at hand. So I'm going to tell you how this turned out for her. What I did notice is that this list of issues that she had, with the things that were making her unhappy, were all quite relevant and they were real. But behind all of that, she was feeling unheard and unseen within her marriage. And that was actually the biggest problem. So talking about it, first of all, got it off her chest, and no matter which way it turned out, there was going to be some sort of outcome to it. It wouldn't just be left as it was going, which was not very well. After talking to him, it did make him realize that he had fallen into a bit of a rut, as we all do, and I think so much more as we age, and it happens without us even knowing it's happening. If you remember correctly, she had a bit of an issue about his attitude to money. And when she brought this up, he explained to her that he was so afraid of leaving her in need should he pass away, that perhaps he was overreacting to it. So they agreed that he would set aside an affordable amount every month that could be spent on little treats and entertainment, and that it was not necessary to be that strict about the budget. He also pointed out that the reason that he had been refusing doing some of the things that she wanted to do and suggested was that he hadn't been feeling that well, and he hadn't wanted to tell her because he hadn't wanted to worry her. On the topic of not liking to go to places where he doesn't really know the people and saying that he doesn't like the people, it turns out that he's always felt like he never fits in unless he really knows the people well. So his attitude was to that was, well, I don't like those people. Actually, what he was saying was, I don't know those people. I don't know how to react around those people. And I don't know if those people like me, most importantly. So there he did say that he would put his best foot forward and try to take a more positive attitude to social occasions and know that there was no reason why people wouldn't like him. She had known he was shy, but she had no idea how shy he actually was. And this was quite difficult for her to even digest, because being a sociable and friendly person, it's quite hard to understand shyness, really. I mean, you have to have experienced it to know what it feels like any other emotion in life. So it was difficult for her to understand, and she made a promise to try and understand that it wasn't always as easy for him to go to places where there were a lot of new people as it was for her. And she told me that she was really going to be kinder about this, because she just realized that it's just an awful thing to still have at an old age. You know, we're used to children being shy. We're not used to elderly men being shy. With regard to the issue about him insisting that he could maintain the house and property and gardens and pool, he did see that he wasn't actually able to do it and didn't really want to admit it. So they are now getting in people help, and people are coming in regularly to maintain what she was trying to maintain herself. So that was a big relief for her. And then regarding him wanting to go out in clothes that were comfortable rather than trying to look a bit smart, he heard her on this and said that he would take her advice and wear some of those nice clothes in his wardrobe. And I gave her some advice in this area too, to compliment him when he was dressed nicely and tell him he looked nice, and not always like a typical woman as we wait to be complimented ourselves. You know, we expect to be told we look nice, and we need to tell our partners that they look nice too. So you see, we tend to think that only young couples have issues to deal with in their marriages or their relationships, and that they have to work hard on those issues to sort them out. But that's not so. In fact, I would go so far as to say that as we get older and, you know, we've been with each other a long time, and perhaps we slip up in ways that we didn't when we were younger, we have to work even harder at keeping a bit of excitement, intrigue, romance, call it what you like, but I think we do have to keep working to keep these alive. I want to finish off by saying that I know that the vows we made were in sickness and in health, in richer and poorer, for better or for worse. And yes, those are vows, and our intention at the time was to obey them and stick to them. But just let's think about for better or for worse. We don't have to accept worse. Neither of us have to accept worse. We should both be doing our very best to give better all the time, no matter what our age. Yes, we're not still head over heels in love anymore, butterflies in the tummy, but we can give the best of ourselves to the person that we love. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And by the way, if you enjoyed it, please subscribe, hit the little bell, and come back for lots more videos with me. Big hugs to you and bye for now.